they will walk until they're about 9 years old, they will lose their ability to walk, and then they will die in their teens.
This film, Our Boy Christoper, created by high school senior Jordan Pollak, is the story of Christopher Callahan, who has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, a disease that has no treatment and no cure. What started as a class assignment for Pollack has evolved into a Long Island story of a brave little boy and his family's fight to keep support and awareness to the forefront.
When I first started making this film, it had originally started with me knowing that I had to make a documentary at some point this year, usually later on, just for school. I had talked to my dad a lot about Christopher and his family, and since it was kind of the beginning of the year, I was like, maybe I could just kind of get a head start and really start looking into this, because I kind of figured it would be maybe a bigger project than what I'm used to.
We thought it was going to be a quick, in and out type of thing. He'd come over one weekend, film it, and then that would be it. But it turned out to be a lot more. He was here for 6 months, 5 months, almost every Saturday. He'd come, he'd spend the day, videotape, interview, just play with the kids. And it just became this wonderful, brilliant production that he made. He's our little miracle.
Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is a genetic disorder that symptoms usually do not appear until early infancy, muscle weakness to the arms and legs and other areas, and low endurance. Due to progressive deterioration of the muscle, loss of movement occurs that eventually leads to paralysis.
Typically, when Duchenne was first discovered, it was hereditary. It was in the family lines. Recently, over the past years, it's become more prevalent where it's a spontaneous mutation. The mother passes it to the son, and they found out that it happens during conception, third day of conception, the mutation happens. You're either a carrier of it, or you can just have it spontaneously, or it can be a mosaic where it's in your eggs. Christopher's was just a spontaneous mutation. All of his milestones were delayed. He started walking close to 2 years old, and he was receiving physical therapy at that point. Once he was diagnosed at 13 months, we started with early intervention services for him, and started with physical therapy and speech therapy because he wasn't speaking as well.
To help Christopher get around, his father built a specialized scooter.
First, we went online and looked for a scooter that, for a pediatric scooter, and there was none. So we built one, myself and my friend, in his garage. I just get this huge joy of him on it, because on that he can ride faster than any other kid on a bike. He can keep up with any kid on a bike, and on that he is a normal 8-year-old kid.
The Callahans also constructed ramps around the house to help Christopher get around much easier, but each day remains difficult.
When he was first diagnosed, it was total shock. I mean, falling to the floor shock when he was diagnosed. Totally did not expect that diagnosis. And every day it's hard. I mean, I see him, his brother's 5, and he runs circles around him. Christopher can't really run anymore. He can't get up off the floor. It's very upsetting. It really is.
Wait, how do I...
What do you see why on it?
After learning more about Christopher's disease, Jordan Pollak hopes that his film is an education for others.
And I hope to only pass that on to people who watch the film, for them to learn as much as they can, because that's my main goal with this film, is to have people educate themselves and learn about what the disease is, what Duchenne muscular dystrophy is all about, and how it affects children and their families. And by, hopefully with my film, people watching my film, they learn as much as they can about it, because just by making it, I've learned so much.
It's a horrific disease, and it needs to have awareness raised, and this is the perfect film. It was brilliantly done. It was not sensationalized. It was very to the point, with very realistic. And I think that Jordan did a great job, and everybody should see it and know what Duchenne muscular dystrophy is.
To make a contribution and to view the film Our Boy Christoper, go to ourboychristopher.com. For Push Pause in Ronkonkoma, this is Archie Snowden.